we're going to take a minute or so and we're going to go ahead and break down pricing structures. I'm going to wait till everybody gets back in here again. If somebody just let me know that they can see this. Joe Hale, awesome Joe, you can see it. Appreciate that. Okay, so I apologize for the inconvenience. We are plugged in direct now. We won't have that power issue again. All right, so bear with me. Now, talking about price structures, I mentioned before that I've been in business for 35 years. When I first got started, I knew nothing about pricing structures. Absolutely nothing. I was in another industry, lost my job, had just gotten married, had a child, bought a house, went door to door, and somebody asked me to clean their carpets. I didn't know what to charge them, had no idea. So I've been stuck on room pricing ever since that point. What's up, Lewis? Good to see you, man. And Kyle, Brenda, you guys. Real clear audio, great. I apologize for the inconvenience. So remember, I'm going to go through, get everybody here for about a minute or so. I'll go through this, and then I'll field some questions afterwards. So back to my point. A lot of you guys probably don't know how you set up your own pricing. If you don't mind mentioning in here how you set up your pricing structure, I'd like to know. Was it by room? Was it by packaging? Or was it by square foot? And we're going to break down and see which one fits you or your business model the best. It's very difficult for me 35 years later to go ahead and change that, unfortunately. I wish I could, and maybe I might in the future, or if I start another business, I've considered that, I might do it too. But I was saying earlier, that it takes time to work your way up. If you start at a low price and you're pricing by room, it takes a while to build up to higher clientele and weed out the other clientele. So there's other ways for owner-operators to make money faster and then move into another business model. But if you start off with room pricing and then packaging, then square foot, or whichever one you start off with, it's going to make a difference, especially in your bottom line and right in the beginning too, basically. Ethan says he usually offers $75 for 2 rooms here. I think maybe you should start off at least $100. You should have some type of minimum, $100, $150 minimum, and then price your rooms after that. But it's totally up to you. There's nothing wrong with it. It's still your business model. You have to figure out your CODB, which is your cost of doing business. That's what really matters. What's your cost of doing business makes all the difference. So I like to stop here on Sundays. I'm going to do it every week or every other week, and we'll break down a topic just like this. So hopefully it'll help other cleaners not to make the mistakes that I made or make their business more profitable right from the start, and also a more solid business. But let's face it, 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 5 years, and then a lot of people don't know this, but 90% of the businesses in the next 5 years that survive fail after that. So you don't want to be one of those statistics. You want to be a business success. And to do that, you have to maximize your profits, and you have to figure out your cost of doing business. So another time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break it down for you, the pricing and how much you should charge, or how much actual job cost you, but we'll do that another time. Right now, we're going to go right on through these structures here, okay? We're going to go ahead and get started. Number one is room pricing. Now, as I started off a little earlier before we lost power, I mentioned basically it works for from low end all the way to high end companies, or at least mid to high end companies, okay? And what do I mean by that? Is because you can have guys out on the street, basically, with signs getting started up with a little machine to run from the grocery store. And I'm not knocking them. Everybody's got to start somewhere. But they might have $5.99 a room. Or you might have these valve packs for $7.99 a room. Okay? And then they call you up, and you might say, well, I'm $35, $40, $50 a room. Well, click, they might just hang up on you. All right? Because now you're basically just kind of competing on price, and that's dangerous. And you don't have a whole lot of time. So if that's the case, you better make sure that you understand or you have phone sales ability. If you don't have phone sales ability, room pricing might not be the right model for you. It probably isn't. Okay? Because, and I realize that salesmen aren't usually born. They're usually made. But if you're just starting off right away, you might not have that sales ability, so kind of weigh that in there. I know if somebody calls me on the phone and I get them on the phone and I pick up the phone, 99.9% of the time, I'm going to retain that client and I'm going to book that job. Why is that? Because I understand the features. I understand how I've separated myself from the competitors, and I can justify that price. But I'm still sitting there spending a lot of time working on that because she doesn't really know me. She's going to call this cleaner, and then me, and she's going to have to differentiate, and she might want to think about it. So that's a tough thing. You better really be a good sales closer, and let me tell you what, clients can pick up if you're BSing them. So make sure you're being honest, you're being fair, and you really have some differences between you and somebody else, or you are going to suffer. And you might be one of those bad statistics I was talking about earlier. Here's another thing. It really does work good for multi-truck. Not so much for owner-operators. But isn't it odd that since I've owned Truckmountforums for the last 10 years, and I get in touch with maybe 50,000 plus cleaners around the country and even more around the world, and yet the majority of them, the owner-operators, are room pricers. Is that really a good thing? Well, after we break this down, you're going to find out for yourself. What's up, Marco? Understand your closing rate. Exactly, Adam. So true, man. You definitely have to have a good closing rate. Everything should be measurable. Remember, ROI, return on investment. If you don't know your return on investment, you probably don't have a very good bank account, and you probably just have a job instead of owning a business. All right? Okay, so it really works good for multi-truck operators, and especially long-established businesses. What do I mean by that? Businesses who have been in a business for a long time. Look at Stanley Steamer. Their room pricing, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? It's very easy, and clients have come to expect what their pricing, and they can go right online, pump in the rooms. Next thing you know, they've got the answer to it immediately. That's kind of cool. That's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But remember, they're a multi-truck operation. They almost do $1 billion a year. They probably do more than everybody on Truckmountforums all put together. Think about that, okay? More than all of them put together. Did you know it takes how long to count to $1 billion? If you start counting to $1 billion right now, it'd probably take you somewhere around 35 years. So think about that. More than likely, nobody here is going to be $1 billion business, but they might be. They're knocking on $1 billion a year already. So kind of think about that. Here's another thing. If you are a room pricer, you're probably also going to have to depend upon upsells. What I mean by that? Well, when you get inside, if you can't get the price you wanted on the phone there, you're going to have to rely on Protector. You're going to have to rely on deodorizer. You're going to have to rely on urine treatment. You're going to have to rely on specialty stains and stuff like that. And if you're not good at it, and you're not honest, and you're not fair, and you're not educated, and know your business well enough, what might happen to you? They might perceive you as a bait-and-switch cleaner, when you might not even be. Let's face it, a lot of cleaners have gone into business because they started with another company and they just followed that model, and it probably wasn't the best model for you. So you have to know thyself. Know yourself so you know what business model basically works for you. And I agree, Adam, you definitely have to measure it carefully. Everything's all about measurement. No doubt about it. Okay, here's another thing too. What about price on website? One thing that when they go to your site and you've got your prices on your website, that's dangerous. Unless you've been in business for a long time and you've been in business for almost 100 years, I don't recommend putting your price on there, but it's up to you. That's totally up to you. Why do I say that? Because if you have a higher price than the majority of people out there and they're just shopping and they're looking at prices, they don't know the differences. All they see is those numbers. So who are they going to pick? They're going to pick the lower price. And you and I both know you do not want to compete based on price if you want to maximize your dollars. Because you want to get paid for your net worth. And your net worth should be based on the fact that you have separated yourself from your competitors. You do all these extra things, corner guards, shoe covers, rolling things out on the floor, going that extra mile, going behind the doors, doing every little thing that separates you from your competitor, but she doesn't know that. Mr. and Mrs. Jones just don't know that. So they're going to end up picking who? More than likely, the price shopper. And you don't want that to happen. You want them to pick you. So by putting that price on the website, you're going to probably be in trouble. So to me, I kind of sum up room pricing as something that's basically done on the phone. It really starts on the phone. Your website grabs a hold of them, but when they get to that phone right there, you better be able to close it. All right? Or you can do what I've done sometimes if you're in new business, offer a little bit lower price in the beginning, and then raise your price up and let them know you're going to charge a little higher. You're going to charge your regular rates next time. That got you in the door. That got you competing against the price persons. But man, I tell you what, competing against people on price is a very dangerous road to walk down. So be extremely careful. Speaking of road, by the way, I'm going to have a couple beers while I'm here. Just relax on a Sunday doing this show. My wife is going to pick me up. All right, just so you know that. I won't be driving. All right, so back to the point here. Now let's go to package. I'm going to go to number 2. We got number 1 is room pricing. Number 2, the second structure is package pricing. What is package pricing? Package pricing is where you generally have 3 different choices for clients. They're square blocks. You might have one for basic, a basic cleaning. It might include all the different steps that you do. Okay, I pre-vacuum, I pre-agitate, I pre-spray, I go ahead and rinse it, you know, and I offer these different things for the basic clean. And then you have a certain price for that. We won't talk price right now, but let's say a basic price for that. Then you might have a second or third package. Your second or third package might be pet or a protector package. If they don't have pets, I like to make it the protector package. Okay, because you know everybody wants to protect their furnishings. So you give them all the basic things on the second package, but you include the protector on there, and that protects their fine furnishings and makes them last a long time. Okay, sell on service, not price. Yeah, I agree with that. Could not agree with that anymore. No doubt, Brandon. No doubt. Put down the beer. Hey, look, I'm going to have a couple beers. Nothing wrong with that. It's off time. I'm just doing this as a courtesy for cleaners, and I really hope you appreciate it. And there just might be some shameless product placement somewhere in here. I could be wrong. There just might be some Rob Secret Formula, or some Spiked, or some Bio, or some Alkaline Rinse, or some Acid Rinse, or some Grout Master. Just might happen. Don't quote me on that. All right. Okay, so you got the basic package, and then if they've got pets and pet urine, you can have a pet package and a protector package as your second package. Or you can have 4. I kind of like 3 because what usually happens? Usually the clients pick the middle package, don't they? So I kind of like that. I kind of set it up that way. Rob gets trash and all the leaks out all the secrets. Ouch. I don't think so there, Jay. Okay. I never get that thrashed, hopefully. Okay, so the last package, and I think it's really okay in this day and time, and it's only okay, the green option package. It's only okay if you have green products. You know, Joseph had mentioned earlier there about our ProSafe line. And just by the way, so I see some of our local guys are on here. I don't sell our green products to any cleaners in the state of Virginia. It's only outside the state of Virginia. We have a complete green line, and most of our products are rated 0, 0, 0, 0. What do I mean by that? Because they're extremely safe. There's no flammability. There's no physical hazards. There's no odor issues. There's no health issues. They're all zeros, or they might have 0, 0, 0, 1. That's the most I'm going to do and offer in my line. So maybe I'll do a video on that one day and break down the green products that we have. So we have 3 choices, and you want to keep them simple. Good Lord, don't make 50 things inside your package. You know, have a decent amount, but kind of keep it relatively simple. Somebody comes to your website, or you got some print material, they're not going to read a book, okay? I know the old days they did, but in this day and time now, the Secret Formula is drinking. I don't think so. People aren't going to read a book these days. They're too doggone busy. I'm busy. You're busy. Think about yourself. Remember, if something fits you, it probably fits others. You know what I mean? If it has an effect on you, it has an effect on others. And we live in a generation now where people, you know, they're living a fast lifestyle. They don't have time to sit there and wait. So separate your packages. Keep them simple. Have 3, maybe 4 at the most. Basic. Pet, protector, green options. Here's the cool thing. Now, you instead of getting locked in a price on your website, what you can do is you can have seasonal options. Okay, you might have something for the spring, for spring cleaning. You might have something for summer, or kids getting out of school, or holiday season, or fall cleaning, or winter specials when you're slower. Nothing wrong with that. So promote those things. I think that's great. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with having that menu on the website. I don't know if I would put the prices on there. It might not hurt you. Remember, I definitely don't agree with putting them on here, but it might not hurt you to put them on here. That's totally up to you. All right, so keep that in mind. So basically, what I want to say is this is basically phone-based, and generally over here for your packages, it's usually web-based. Okay, because people are going to go to your website, they're taking a little bit of time, and they're looking at your packages. And don't hide your packages. Don't have them on page 5 or page 10. Maybe put them right on the front. Okay, people are busy. Just get right to the point. Okay, I think that's really important. Mother-in-laws come in package. Yeah. What's the difference between mother-in-laws, in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. But you didn't hear that from me. All right. Just kidding. I have some great in-laws, by the way, dear, just in case you happen to watch this. All righty then. All right. Okay, now let's move on now to our third package. Our third package is a square foot package. And you know, square foot basically is you get somebody on the phone, or they call you, you get a referral or something of that nature. you let them know, well, Mrs. Jones, do you know your square footage? Or Mr. Jones. They usually don't know the square footage, or if they do know the square footage, they generally just know the square footage of the whole home. Am I right? They only know that whole square footage. So, well, let me tell you, Mr. Jones, before I give you a price on it, what I'd like to do is maybe come out to your house there and give you a free, no obligation estimate. Okay, we're going to get down to that, but a free, no obligation estimate, because, you know, there might be some things that we're not going to move. There might be something, that, you know, like a piano or something of that nature, and I only want to charge you for the amount of space you're going to have cleaned. For me to do that, I need to put my eyes on it. You see how nice and soft and that sounds, and it puts them in charge. And then you might say, well, Mrs. Jones, when would you like me to come out and give you your free, no obligation estimate? You better be good on the phone, okay? You better have a good personality. You better have a good attitude. You're going to be in trouble, okay? And for anything that you do, that's really important. You always want to be honest and sincere, because if you're not, clients will pick up on you not being honest and sincere, and they won't come back to you. They might just use you one time. They might consider you a bait and switch. Okay, even over here they might consider that. People want to be sold, they don't want to be oversold. So don't go over those lines, but we'll go over sales another day. All right, so another thing about square foot is, I kind of feel like I do with rugs. People say, well, how much do you charge for rugs? I say, well, look, why don't you take a picture of the rug, or bring the rug in here, let me put my eyes upon it. Why do I do that? Because just like if I go out to a home, every house is different. I don't care if they're in the same neighborhood and they were bird houses all set up and they all kind of look the same. They're still different. How are they different? Well, everybody has different types and pieces of furniture throughout their house, right? So if that's the case, what's the total square footage? Maybe she doesn't want a bed moved. Maybe you've got a swivel wand, you get up under the bed. That's cool. You can kind of factor that in there. Maybe she just wants the open areas done. So you're measuring that square footage and she's getting charged accordingly. She's not getting hurt. You're not getting hurt. You're not spending as much time, and you can do more jobs, and you're maximizing your profits. Another thing too is soil level. What's the soil level like? You go out to a house that's been 5 or 10 years since they've cleaned it, and they've got some blabs, they've got a pool out back, there's body oils, dead skin, urine everywhere, all that kind of stuff. I want to tell you what, that differs. Now, if you're already there, they've met you. They've already let you inside the home. You're already 95% of the way there. You should be able to close that deal if you're already inside that home. Okay? And we're basically talking about homes, but this can work for commercials too, so kind of keep that in mind. But more so for room and square foot if you're going commercial. All right. Another thing is too, how much furniture they want moved. Personally, I'm not in the furniture moving business. I want to move as least amount of furniture as possible. Why do I say that? I just tell clients, look, your vacuum cleaner can get that under there. Why pay for us to have it cleaned? I don't mind. If you want me to move it, great. I'll be glad to move anything you want. So say, okay, well, how about just moving? I change my den furniture around all the time. How about just moving all my den furniture, and inside my living room it stays there all the time? Can you do that for me? Yeah, sure. As a matter of fact, I've even got a swivel wand. I can get up under a lot of these things. Oh, you can? Yeah, I won't even charge you for that. Look how good that sounds. Be honest. Be sincere, but charge accordingly. Okay, how about specialty stains? What if they run the daycare out of the house and they got spills all over the carpet? Okay, you've got to factor that in there. So you've got your square footage, but you can go ahead and factor in there and take care of those specialty stains. You now have the opportunity to sit there and talk with the client and bring this to her attention. You're walking through with your UV light, hopefully a TMF UV light. Okay, you're walking through with it and you're finding these specialty stains and all these things that are going on. Now you're building and creating the value. You're talking to her. She's seeing your van. She's seeing your equipment. When I pull up, my doors are open. My van's looking sharp. And she's seen it. She knows a true professional that showed up to her house. I'm uniformed. I'm ready to go. I'm looking the part. I'm talking the part. I know my craft. I know my trade. She puts their faith in me, and now the value is building up higher and higher. Now she trusts me inside of her home, where they might not trust this person over here because they just shop by price, or they might not have them back. So you want to get back into the house as much as possible. Am I the only one taking notes, Ethan? Well, you know, just remember, Ethan, I'm going to go ahead and I'll keep this video up in the timeline, and I'll go ahead and make a copy of it for YouTube also. All right, next thing. Remember, more than likely it's going to be on site, and that's to your advantage. All the points I mentioned, your truck, you're showing up, you're clean looking, you're professional looking, you're well groomed, you're smelling good, you're happy, you're positive, you put off all those negative things that are going on there, and you've got the client one-on-one now. rather than you're fighting with these price shoppers over here, okay? So this really, really works good for owner-operators. Square foot. If I had to start over again today, square foot is probably where I'd be, or I'd be at a monster price, okay, for something of this nature here. So keep that in mind. So it's definitely usually the most profitable for owner-operators. So keep that in mind. I think that's really important. Now, I say that it's best for owner-operators, okay? But I also want to make this point here. Excuse me. I want to make this point here that you could have a field estimator. If you trust them and they're good and you have a multi-truck operation, nothing wrong with that. Get yourself a good person you've trained and duplicate yourself. And send them out there and let them emulate you. Let them sell. Hey, maybe they can outsell you. Maybe you suck at sales. Maybe you don't want to develop the sales ability. Well, then you hire a sales girl or person on the phone here to answer the phone for you to close them from room pricing. Or you hire somebody to go out there as a field estimator and let them sell it, and then a technician can follow up afterwards. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great option right there. And more than likely, that's going to be the most profitable. Some people say package is the most profitable. That varies. But either one of them work. And the least profitable will probably be room unless you're an established business like myself and you've been in business for a long time and you've built that, hundreds and hundreds of reviews. We have the most reviews in the Hampton Roads area because we built that client base. We built that trust, that credibility. So when they come to us, they read our reviews, they see our professionalism on the website, and we have good sales ability on the phone. Generally, we can close them, and we do really well. We might not do as many as some of the other jobs, other companies, but we really do maximize our profits. Great video, TMZ. Thanks a lot, Javon. I hope you meant TMF, but hey, we could be the TMZ of carpet cleaning, no doubt about it. All right. Personality means a lot. And going back to that, notice the point I've got on the square foot. Okay, Brian, personality. If you've got the personality, personality works great. If you don't have a personality, maybe package pricing might be your best bet. Okay, but let me tell you what, anybody can improve their personality. It doesn't cost anything to be nice, kind, respectful, and appreciative to people. And if you don't know how to do it, and it's because of your upbringing, there's a problem. I've always said, you know what, I can teach just about anybody to clean carpets, but I can't teach them to be nice or good people. Their parents had to do that. Or their environment, their circumstances had to do that. So make sure you hire accordingly, or that you're that way. But if you've got a bunch of issues or problems, it might be a good idea to hire an estimator. Nothing wrong with that. Or get your menu packages in there, or do your prices and have somebody who's really good at that. Nick says, sell yourself, the job sells itself. True that, true that. And look, you're there to, and we'll discuss this another time, NMOTs versus PMOTs. Anybody know what that is? Before I go any further, I'm about to wrap this up here. We'll field some questions. What's an NMOT and what's a PMOT? Who wants to take a stab at that? Easy if you love your job. Amen. You know what? And you tell you what, I really love my job when people appreciate it and they pay me accordingly. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. They get a great service and I do a great service. It's a win-win for both of us. Anybody know what a PMOT and an NMOT is? Anybody want to take a guess on those initials? NMOT, my wife gives me 95% of the jobs. Nothing wrong with that, Alan. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, man. Thanks, Sergio. Appreciate that, my man. Appreciate that. And he's got here, you don't sell services, you sell opportunity. Nothing wrong with that, too. There we go. Rick Thode said, positive moments of truth. PMOT is positive moments of truth. For any one of these to work here, you have to have positive moments of truth. So what's an NMOT? Who wants to say that first? This is my stress relief. I heard that. Nothing wrong with that, Tommy. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I don't know if you're talking about having just a couple beers. I'm kind of a 4-beer person myself. I'm only about $1.90, so 4 beers is usually my limit. I'm just a social drinker for the most part. If I'm watching football or watching sports or going out with my buddies. Matter of fact, if you ever get a chance, stop in the TMF school here. I would love to take you out, have a few drinks, and interview you, and also, because we're having that cleaner thing, and I'll go ahead and show you all the different types of equipment we have here. We have all types of rotaries, OP machines, every wand you can think of, rug stuff, and tile and grout tools. I'll be glad to take some time and share it with you fully and help you out in any form or fashion, okay? All right, so there we go. Let's see. It says Victor Gomez. He came on here and he said, negative moment of truth. Okay, so you got negative moments of truth and you got positive moments of truth. So important with any of these right here. On the phone, you better have some positive moments of truth. You better sound cheerful. You better sound genuine. On your website, you want lots of positive things. You don't want to be putting down the competition. It's always a terrible thing to talk bad about your competitors. If you have a problem with a competitor, I don't care if it's online, whether it's locally or something like that, try to call them in a spirit of mildness and work it out. Don't air it. Don't tell you what, it's only going to drag you down. I see that all the time with myself. I watch people online many times. Sometimes people will bring up things about me or say things and stuff like that. And I notice over time it hurts them. And I continue to move upwards. Why is that? Because I don't retaliate. I don't ever talk bad about my competitors. Whether it's locally or whether it's online. If anything, I try to establish strategic relationships with my locals. And they'll tell you that, I have a lot of trust in them. Let's talk about the new wand. Let's stick with the negative moments of truth and positive moments of truth. So you want as many positive moments of truth. Don't be trashing your competitors on the website. And don't go on their Facebook page and say, oh, I'm a better cleaner and stuff like that. That just really lacks class. And I would never have somebody out inside of my house for any type of service if they went on somebody else's boosted page and started saying how good they are. That's just a very, very low class act. Don't do that. Stick to your positive points mostly. Also, now it comes down to personality on the last one there. Negative moments of truth might be you show up beside the house, you've had a bad day, and you start talking all negative, you're unhappy, you're complaining, you're whining. I want to tell you what. A woman's not going to have you back in her house, or a man too, if you sit there and you're whining about all your problems. You know why? They don't care about your problems. They brought you out there to clean the carpets, or the tile and grout, or do their rugs. That's what they brought you out there. They brought you out there to bring solutions, not to bring problems. If you're bringing problems, you got issues, and you need to work on those issues, or you need, because everybody has problems, put them out of your brain. Let me tell you what, you get inside the house there and you make a good sale, you might be able to rectify some of those problems. If your wife's fighting with you because you ain't making enough money paying the bills, well, hey, go out there and make some more money. Be positive. Good things happen to positive people. It's really important. I never do either. I make friends with my competition. It works so well. Thanks, Marco. I agree. And Jay, you just made that point there. Isn't that true, Jay? Make friends with them. I call them strategic partnerships with your competitors, because if you've got a problem, or you're down, or you're breaking a leg or something like that, and you're not a multi-truck operation, and you're an owner-operator, and you've got that, you can call that person, and maybe they'll do some of your jobs. I've done that for people, and I've had them do some jobs. Or you know what? I'll pass them some jobs, because I trust them. I trust them to go out there and represent me. And they're not going to steal my client from me, and I'm not going to steal their client from them. I'm going to help them in times of need, because they're going to help me in times of need. Never talk problems, religion, or politics with a client. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Stay neutral. You're there for what? You're a problem solver. You are a problem solver. Her carpets are dirty. That's what she wants you there to do. At the end of the day, she wants your carpets clean, and she wants you to be a halfway decent human being. How hard is that? Apparently it's pretty doggone hard, because that's why so many companies fail. But also maybe they don't price their company properly either. They don't understand the pricing of a carpet job. It's very important to understand your cost of doing business, or your CODB. I'm going to break that down on another one. Remember too, you can go ahead and make suggestions anytime you want. And if you're confused about the pricing, don't forget we have a sheet. This right here, we offer this on Truckmount Forums, on the forum itself, truckmountforums.com. Not like it's not everywhere, right? Alrighty then. But what we did is we did a survey with like 50,000 carpet cleaners around the United States and the world too, basically, but especially around the United States. And we came up with a suggested price list. Now, when I say suggested, we can't price fix, but what we can do is interview cleaners and find out what they charge. Hey, what do you charge for autos, boats, RVs? What do you charge for carpet cleaning inside of a home? What about urine? What about deodorization, protector? How about carpet repairs? How about dyeing, dryer vents, furniture, hardwood floors, leather cleaning, mattress, natural stone, rugs, pressure washing, tile and grout, VCT, emergency water damage, window cleaning. It's all right on here, and they're just windows. When I say that, it might have here for minimum charges, or around the country people charge $79 to $150. Some of them even charge $300, even more. It just gives you a guide. That's all this is a guide. But it helps you to know what people are charging around the country, and you can kind of figure out what works best for you and what's profitable. This thing we sell for like $5. I have all my technicians just keep it right inside their notebook. If they've got a question about some niche service or some type of maybe some stone or some type of specialty stain, then go right to this and get the pricing off of it. And you can write down your price beside each one of them of what you want to charge. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can kind of base it off of this, or you can base it off of your area, but most of all, base it off of your cost to do a business. Make sure it's profitable. Because let's face it, hey, we're in the business for what? Two things. To be an asset to the community, but also to get paid for being an asset to the community. There's nothing wrong with that. A worker deserves his wages. This is a brotherhood. So true, so true. You know, it's really sad to see a lot of the animosity. You know, I'm banned from a lot of the groups and the forums all around the industry. And it's really sad to see that, because all I've tried to do is raise the industry bar. And if we could all get along, our real enemies are what? It's poor carpet. It's poor carpet fibers. You know, and it's the whole wave of moving towards hard surfaces, or moving towards cheap disposable furnishings, whether it's upholstery, whether it's carpets and stuff like that. Look at polyesters and olefins, and you know, all that's working against us. So we should be working against that rather than working against each other. I think that's really important. I'm glad to hear that, Alan. Ethan, it's only good if they want to be friends and work together and not against each other. Now remember what I said earlier, Ethan. I said, yeah, hey, and also Rodney, I agree. If you get a big job, you can split it. Bring them on and split it. But I like what Ethan brought up here. Don't just naively trust any cleaner in your area. I hate to say it, you know. Some of my technicians said they've gone down the road, waved to other carpet cleaners. Guess what? They got the one finger salute. All right? Do you think you want to form a strategic relationship with that carpet cleaner? Absolutely not. That's going to be an issue right there. So pick them accordingly. You know, meet them. Meet them. Every time you get an opportunity to see a cleaner, when I see a cleaner cleaning out in the neighborhood, I'll go over and meet them. I'm just going to be nice and kind. And if it's reciprocal, well, I might be able to build a relationship off of that. And we can help each other. Like I've always said, iron sharpens iron. But if you've got somebody who's sneaky, devious, wants to take your business, and you can sense that, stay away from them. Okay? Because unfortunately, there's a lot of people come up in here and they're just bait and switchers. So be really careful of that. All right. Can't we all get along? So true, Christopher. So true. Wouldn't it be nice if we all could get along? There's no doubt about it. And there's no reason we can't. You know, I just try to treat people, you know, honestly and fairly and the way I want to be treated. You know, I'm not saying I don't make mistakes. All of us make mistakes. But we should be forgiving of one another and try to move on from that point there. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to feed our families and improve our businesses and give our children and our family the best life that we are possible of giving them. Now, let's face it, we're carpet cleaners, okay? We're not rocket scientists. But we can give them some really good means of living if we're doing things correctly, delivering those positive moments of truth. I think it's really important. Adam said, always be a gentleman. Yeah, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Always. And I tell you what, people pick up on that. They love that. You know, my clients, just go read our reviews. Just go read our reviews. You know, our reviews kind of speak for themselves. And here's another thing, too. It's a cool thing. I've had some competitors, which I know they were competitors, because I made a note on there, and I'll look at every single review. I've had a couple of competitors, which is really sad. You got to really be a low life to do something like this to somebody. They called or they set up a review, a bad review, and I'll go in there and I'll look see if they're one of my clients, and they weren't. But now you can report that to Google, and they can search it and they can penalize them. So keep that in mind. I think that's really cool. That's a great feature. So if it's a legit, that's fine, because you can't make every single person happy. But I can always offer them their money back. And I've even had clients who gave me a lower review, or one of my employees a lower review. I've stepped in, gone out and handled it. And guess what? I got them to raise that review. That's a great feeling right there. So don't always just go by that review. Do what you can to make it right. But watch out for people taking advantage of it. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you're not going to make somebody happy. We had a one-time client, and I'll mention that here. I think you've had public speaking training. Maybe a little bit, Kevin. Maybe a little bit. But not actually in the secular world, okay? You know, and in some volunteer work, I have done a little bit of it. Let's see, I want to check this one right here. There was a comment here. Some of these comments go so fast that I can't see them, unfortunately. It was Kathleen Block. She had made a comment. I might have to answer that later because the comments are moving fast on my computer. So, Rodney's got, we give 100% money back guarantee if you don't like it. Yeah, how simple is that? But however, I'm going to go back to the story about, it was during Thanksgiving or Halloween or something like that. McDonald's had that pumpkin spice, and a customer had spilled some pumpkin spice coffee all over her carpets. Okay? And the pumpkin spice, she had tried everything on there and didn't get it out. She calls me up, and she said, do you think you can get it out of there? I said, well, I probably can't get it out of there. You know, there's a good possibility I won't be able to get it out of there because you probably already set it in there. But she still had me come out there. Okay? So I went head on out there, and I really didn't want to. I went out there, and I got it lighter, there's no doubt about it, but I told her it needed a patching. And I just charged her a minimum, but because I told her I was going to charge her a minimum. So I go back, next thing I know, next day she writes me a scathing review. You come out there, didn't get the spot out, I'm totally disappointed. Alright? Gave her her money back. Asked her would she remove it. She still wouldn't remove it. Alright, so it just goes to show you cannot make everybody happy. Maybe I could have gone further with it. Maybe I could have took her to court or something like that, but I didn't. Here's what you do. You get a bad review, bury them. That's what I do. I just bury them with good reviews. They just make me more motivated. It's like when I have problems with competitors who don't like me, I'll just get out there and fight harder. I'm going to raise my quality. I'm going to raise my abilities. I'm going to get outside my comfort zone, and I'm going to improve, and I'm going to get out to the top of the pack. So the more negative energy that's thrown towards me, the more positive energy I put out. Very important. Okay, I've been lucky enough to have 5 stars, and I always tell the client, if there's an issue, call you back. Yes, I charge enough to make an extra tip. I like that, Michael. I like that a lot. I'm sorry I missed Kathleen's suggestion, Albert. I wish I could have seen it. I'm sorry, but it just moved really fast, Kathleen. So if you want to copy and paste it, if somebody wants to copy and paste it and throw it back up there, I'd really love to see it. Because not until I close out this window here will I be able to go through and see all of them. During Facebook Live, they're only letting you see a certain amount. So Albert and anybody, if you see it, let me know. You're fired, laughing out. Oh, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that, Michael. You're all heart. That's what that client said too. But you know what? I feel like, and you have to get to this point right here. That lady lost the opportunity to have a good relationship with a great service provider. So to me, it's her loss. She might have wrote me that bad review for something that was totally unreasonable. I reasoned with her. I did everything I possibly could. Even gave her her money back. She still wasn't happy. What did she end up doing? She lost me as a good service provider. Now she might end up with somebody on the low end. Okay? So be careful. What you put out comes back to you in full measure. Can you talk about post-bonnet pros and cons? Well, Michael, I try to stick to one subject because I'm going to make this into a video. I put it on YouTube, and I really don't want to confuse people. However, I don't mind talking about that another time. But I will say I do like post-bonneting. Okay? I am a fan of it. How about if I just say that right there? Okay? I'm a fan of as many things you can do to make that carpet look its best. I'm a fan of that. All right? Anything you can do to make it look its absolute best, knock yourself out. One question I'd like to ask is has anything broke up for people, or has this been clean all the way through? Have you been able to see everything all the way through the whole thing here? Let's see what we got here. Brandon said underestimate. Kathleen, repost it. Yeah, I'd love to. Kathleen, you can go through there and just copy and paste it and repost it. I'd be glad to address it before we close out here. Let's just see if it's possible that I'm able to see it. I'll pop this back open here. Nope. Yep, it won't let me. Some days you can't fix crazy. Yep, you can't fix crazy and you can't fix stupid. Alright? Underestimate and overperform. No doubt about it. I'm a big believer in that. Yep. Always under promise and over deliver. Don't underestimate, okay? Under promise and over deliver. Very important. Pretty clean, always good. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate that, man. Glad to hear that. And thanks, Adam. Really important because put a lot of work into getting this ready here. And the first one I started there, we had a little power outage on my little system here in the back. Had to go plug it and start over again. I'm glad it's going. Videos look good all the way. Cool. Good. She wanted a chart of when and how much chemical to use in various situations. Okay, that's a good idea. Hey, maybe I'll make that chart, put it on the back right here. That's not a bad idea. But we got the school one here. Remember, we have an online school. Another shameless plug. Okay, I'm the first one to do that, to cover all the diverse services. Yep, alrighty then. We own Cleaner Designs, Route Master, the mobile app's on here. Remember, we have a mobile app. You just go to the app store on your phone and get that. So she basically said, it's been good the whole time, Albert. That's cool. Ethan, video looked good. Under promise and over deliver has always worked for me. I make very few promises. So true. So true. So true. Promises just get you in trouble. Ain't that the truth, Michael? Yep. But you know, also, if you don't get a spot out of the carpet or something like that, and you tell her you don't think it's possible, but you could always cut it or do something of that nature, and then you get it out, you look like the hero. But if you say you could get that spot out, oh yeah, no problem, I'll get that spot out. You sit there scrubbing, killing yourself, and you don't get that spot out of there, guess what? You look pretty uneducated after that. And here's the cool thing you can do. I do. Finish that one up. Another cool thing I like to do is I'll take some cleaner and with a terry cloth towel, and I'll show the client that there's no transfer. If there's no transfer, that means that spot's not coming out of there. It's done permanently impregnated the fiber, change the color permanently. However, I always give them the option. I can go inside a closet, cut a piece out, stretch it in there, put it there, and you'll never know it was there. That's really cool. So it's really good to know some diverse services. Remember that. We offer those in our store there. Okay, if there's not anything else anybody else to say, let me know. Let's see. Word, can I find your product in Missouri? Michael, you're probably going to have to buy it online. You can. If you go to your local internet dealer, you can find some of it. Remember, one thing about my products is, since I've been a cleaner for 35 years, I take absolutely no shortcuts. I use the absolute most active ingredients. There's no fillers. It's fine, easy to rinse. I've got a product that's really free and clear, which is a Rob Secret formula, which I get a ton of feedback on this, and it really does great on polyesters, which is what we made it for. All of our products have polyester cleaners inside of it. But what they like about this product right here is it's so free and clear, it cleans about all the carpets. And if you need a little bit of boost, add a little bit of citrus salt to it, and it's blown through everything. Nothing stops it. Then you've got something like Pro, and you've got our Spike formula, which has some oxidizer in it, has a little bit of citrus salt. It's a fantastic. It's ready to go, and that's really good for employees if you don't want to mix anything up and stuff like that. That's cool. Good. Canadian distributor. We do ship there now to Canada, so kind of keep that in mind. I want to do it. I want to take a day, and we'll talk about pre-sprays, the differences, what makes them different. I'll do some rinses. I'll do some boosters. I'll do a green line. I'll make them all separate times. But let's really keep in mind what this whole video is about right here. It's basically talking about pricing structures. Do your products have the seal of approval? Absolutely not, Karen. And they never will. They're never going to have the seal of approval on them. Okay? At least not as long as I'm in charge of it. Maybe my son or somebody else might put them on there. But let's face it, Rug Doctor got the highest seal of approval. And some of the truck mounts that I've owned in the past didn't even make the seal of approval. A truck mount, Rug Doctor, not knocking one or the other. I'm just saying, I know as a cleaner what is more efficient and what does a deeper cleaning job. So I think that's really important. Thanks, Alan. He says, absolutely love your products. My customers have been completely impressed as I started using your product. Awesome, Alan. I appreciate that, man. I take no shortcuts. Remember, I offer the best guarantee in the industry. I put my money where my mouth is. What I tell people is, listen, you try the product. You don't like the product, I'm going to give you your money back, and you keep the product. I don't want it. It's all yours. You can keep it. It's all yours. That's how confident and how much I know about my product and how much I stand behind it. Rug Doctors Platinum. Yeah, anybody can look it up. You can go right to their website. look it right up and see what's rated and where your machine's rated. But believe me, you're going to be in for a surprise. And I'll talk about that another day. All right? I'll go into depth because there's a lot of things behind the scenes. You don't know how they come up with these ratings. I do. I'm privileged to it, so I can see it. And let's see what else we got here. Can I get some samples? Yes, Kevin Hall, you can get them, Kevin. That's Kevin Hall. Yes, Kevin, you can. Go to tmfshop.net, and there's a live chat there. My son, Matt, and them, they man that. They'll go ahead and handle it, or you can just find them right inside there. I think we give our Groutmaster, it's completely free to people. The other products, I think we just charge you just a little minimum charge for shipping. But I think you'll be very pleased. But remember, you got the full warranty with them. You don't like them, I'm going to give you your money back. So basically, this is a sample. You order a thing of Spiked. You order a thing of Rob's Secret Formula. BioPro. Our Groutmaster. You order it. You don't like it. Just call me and say, Rob, hey, Rob, your stuff sucked. I'm going to give you your money back. You're going to keep it. You got a free container sample instead of having a little small sample. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, Sapphire Scientific is gold. No comment. There's a lot more to that than meets the eye, and I'm going to be glad to help anybody with it. So keep that in mind. There's a lot more to those ratings than people don't understand. Sad to say. Is it California approved? I believe all of our products are California approved. I'll check with my son just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure they're all California compliant. Unlike, and some people use these, I don't really want to talk about this till later, but I'm going to break down some of the pre-sprays, some of the stuff that goes in pre-sprays, some of the tricky wording, the way they dilute the products, the way they change. That's why I like a lot of powdered products. You're not paying for a lot of water. You get hundreds of gallons or maybe hundreds and hundreds of gallons of cleaning product ready to use rather than 1 or 2, 5 or 10. So it's definitely the base for the money. Michael is $40 a room, including moving furniture and tabs too. Yeah. Hey, $40 is not a bad price, but you better know your cost of doing business. You better know what's your. Do you have a? I'm not going to break down the CODB right now. I'm going to save that for a later date. Gotta save it. But I'm going to explain to you how to come up with a proper pricing to be very profitable. Maybe we'll do that on the next one. We'll see. Michael says he moves small tables. His motto is, most cases he does. Does anyone walk there? Yeah, I agree with that. I tell people that all the time. When I'm doing an on-site estimate or I'm doing even a room job or even the package, I'm going to say, Miss Jones, I don't mind moving it. However, does anybody walk under there? If nobody walks in there, you basically just got dust, and your vacuum cleaner will take care of that. That's something you could take care of and save some money. But it's up to you. You want me to move it? I'll be glad to charge you accordingly. I go quiet. Oh, now I'll go ahead and move it. Now, I'll tell you what, though. In dens, I want to move as many things as I can in dens, like I said before, because people move their dens around all the time. And their sofas. I'll come home sometimes to my house, and my wife, I don't even recognize the house. I'm sure it's happened to you guys. You walk in there and think, you got sofa over here, you got TV over here, she moved it all around. You're like, all right, I got to get used to this again. Even worse sometimes is she'll move the silverware, or she'll move the cups and the dishes and the plates somewhere inside the cabinet. I'll find myself opening that cabinet, finally get the hang of it, she'll move it again. I don't know whether they do it to us on purpose or not. But getting back to the dens, make sure that it's a good idea to move the dens furniture, sofas, and things of that nature. Sofas, end tables, coffee tables, dining room tables. Those areas right there that get a lot of use. Make sure you move it around because clients moving around and they'll appreciate it. And don't try to talk them out of it. Let them make the decision. If you talk them out of it, she's going to say, I wish I would have moved this afterwards. You don't want no negative moments of truth. You don't want any regret. You want when you leave, it's just, that was fantastic. That was a fantastic job. Best ever. What a positive moment of truth. And they're going to come back to you. The seals of approval is to pay to play Rob as being a gentleman and not putting those companies out there that play the game. True that, Scott. True that. Is this going to be posted on the page? I'm missing pricing talk after the outage somehow. Yes, it will be there. All this will be there. It sure will be. I'm hoping there was just an outage in the beginning, and during this second one, there was no outages. Does anybody watch this whole episode from beginning to end? Let me know, please. I won't be at ice myself, or the other one. What about moving washer and dryer when doing tile? That's up to you. That's totally up to you. That's like moving a refrigerator. I'm probably not going to do it. It's not dirty under there. Okay? I'm not going to do it. Now, but if they want me to, I will. If I'm giving them the estimate and they want it moved, I will. It's that simple. But let's face it, the majority of the dirt is in the open area, especially on tile and grouts. All right? So I hardly ever move them. But I will. If they're easy to move and they're not monsters and there's space, hey, I'll move it, probably. I might and I might not. It all depends on the client. Remember, that's the cool thing about doing square foot pricing. You got inside the house. You're getting a feel for the client. You find out what her needs are and you meet those needs. I think that's really important. What's up, Aziz? How you doing? Let's see. All good. So somebody, Brandon, did you watch it from beginning to end? If you did, was the sound there? Was the video all there? Hopefully it was. If not, I've got some great IT guys who can spice it around a little bit, but I'd rather have it all as one piece. Okay, but I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'll try to keep it right at about an hour. That's where it's at. Remember, if you have any suggestions of anything else you would like to talk about in the future, I think pricing's one thing. I think that's kind of cool. Somebody's brought that up. I've got a long list of things I'm going to go over one at a time, and I'm trying to keep it simplified. The first one I did like 5 subjects, and I'm going like, people are probably like, oh, don't know what to do there. So keeping on one subject here. So remember pricing structures. There's room pricing, there's package pricing, there's square foot pricing. Room pricing is sometimes your least profitable, but it can be if you're in business for a long time. Multi-package pricing is very profitable. Square foot's probably your most profitable. Keep that in mind, but you also want to make sure you're good on the phone for this one. You got a good website presence. Sure, a good website presence for all of them, but website-based, and the other one's personality-based. Okay, I've watched it from the beginning. It's been all good. Awesome, Albert. Glad to hear that. That's fantastic. Got this new camera set up. It's working good, but it's got a new piece to it, which I'm not exactly sure how to work it. Okay, well, I'm Rob Allen with Truck Mount Forums. If you don't know me already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll put this up on the YouTube. Become a member of the Truckmountforums.com, our forum itself. Remember, it's the largest industry resource out there, and it's about anything you can find, you can study. It's just like the encyclopedia of carpet cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, restoration. Then you've got our Facebook page, Truck Mount Forums, Carpet Cleaner Professionals, which you're probably watching this from right now. And in there you can get quick, fast answers to everything. I'll help you in any form or fashion to grow your business. Just don't forget about us if you don't mind. Really appreciate it in return. And then if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that really helps me. We've got the largest industry YouTube channel. We've got maybe a couple million views, a lot of subscribers. And every new video that pops up, if you don't make it, it'll give you an alert and you can watch that video at a later date. And don't forget, last but not least, you can make suggestions. And remember, tmfshop.net, you can find our products. You can go onto the Facebook page. You can find me. I'll answer any question that you might have. All right, I'm going to look at this one more time. If I don't see anything else, I'm going to move on and go ahead and close this out. The Carpet Cleaning Bible. Appreciate that, man. Cool. Thank you for your time, Rob Allen III. I'm actually Rob Allen II. Let's remember, just so you know, I'm basically the lead singer. I'm Rob Allen Jr. My father passed away before my son was born, unfortunately, and he was Rob Allen Sr. I'm Junior the second. My son is the third, and our grandson is the fourth. And basically, that's the only reason, or the main reason, I'm doing everything that I do, because I'm trying to build up something for our generations and our lineage. And that's what you should be doing. Building your business for your lineage. That's your motivation. And we'll do another talk on motivation later. Okay, I think that's going to totally wrap it up right there. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate that. The Carpet Whisperer. That's hilarious. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Just remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. And don't forget about tmfacademy.com, our online academy. I've broken everything down. If you think I go into it here, it's very, very, very intense training online. I basically come in here into the classroom for 1/3 of it, go right through it, give you all the science behind it, make it practical, make it applicable, easy to understand. You start making money right away. I take you back into the school. I show you all the different methodologies that go along with whatever we're talking about, all different types of equipment so you can find out what fits you the best. And then I do a demonstration on some live jobs using that equipment and that method, whether it's hot water extraction, whether it's VLM, whether it's commercial cleaning, whether it's tile and grout cleaning, you name it. I cover all the gamuts because I want you to be as profitable as possible. Well, I'm Rob Allen with Truck Mount Forums. Have yourself a great day.